Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Shapeshifting Detective, grabbing the achievement, A Woman Scorned. This is going to be done during Chapter 1 when you first get to the guest house. You are going to meet the innkeeper. Her name is Violet. And to get this specific achievement, what you have to do is you have to make sure you push her buttons throughout the course of the chapter. And I'm going to be showing you a summarized guide on how to do that step by step. So after meeting her and exhausting all of your possible dialogue choices, you are going to head into the dining room and meet this woman. Her name is going to be Bronwyn. Just make sure you exhaust all of those dialogue choices and you'll finally have control of your character in the hallway. Make sure you hail a cab and then take the taxi over to the chief. He is going to introduce you to all your super special awesome powers and the basic setup of the game, basically assigning you your job. Make sure you go through all of that dialogue, and then once you're done with him, make sure you head all the way back to the guest house. Once we're back here, we can have access to everyone else who is staying. So first off, we are going to reintroduce ourselves to Violet and then talk to her some more. Make sure you exhaust all of the dialogue options. After you're done with her, make sure you leave back into the hallway, and now we have to visit the 3 tarot card readers. So we already introduced ourselves to Bronwyn. You have to re-talk to her in her room, exhaust all of those dialogue options, and then move on to her 2 compatriots. You have Rain, who's going to be the second guy. Same thing, go to his room, make sure you talk to him, exhaust all possible dialogue options until you get to the option to leave, and then finally the final tarot card reader is going to be Lexi. Same thing, go to her room, make sure you talk to her, exhaust all dialogue options, and then we can head to our room to move on to the next step, which is going to be this game's main gimmick. So once you're back in your room, you can start shapeshifting into the other characters. We are going to start by shapeshifting into the chief. Once you have that, make sure you back out and then go back into the hallway. Make sure you visit Violet and make sure you talk to her. Exhaust all of the dialogue options with the chief and then head back to your room. Now what you have to do is you have to shapeshift into all 3 of the tarot card readers and make sure you talk to her one by one. So start off with Bronwyn, make sure you go back to your room, shapeshift into her, head back downstairs, talk to Violet. Then after you're done with that, make sure you head back to your room, shapeshift in to Rain, and then make sure you head on downstairs. You will notice that if you head downstairs as Rain, she will disappear. This is going to be part of it, so don't worry, but you still have to do it. So just switch over to Rain and make sure you head downstairs and examine the empty couch. Once you are done with that little cutscene, you're going to go back and then finally shapeshift into Lexi. Head downstairs and make sure you talk to her, exhaust all the dialogue options, and you should be done with this next part. Next step after this is we need to head back to the chief since we have some new dialogue available. So obviously what you have to do before you go there is head back to your room. Make sure you change back into yourself. Just go to your room, hit the Y button, and you should morph back into yourself. Then you want to hail a cab and then head over to the chief. He should have a ton of dialogue available. Make sure you hammer all of it out, and once you are out of dialogue, make sure you head back to the guest house. Once we're back here, we're going to visit Violet again. We should have learned some information from the chief about stuff. Make sure you talk to her about that. Once you are out of dialogue options, it's time to go shapeshifting again. So back into your room, we're going to start off as the chief. Make sure you switch over to him and then head back downstairs, talk to Violet. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go back upstairs and then get to the other tarot card readers. I believe you could skip Bronwyn and Rain since they don't really have any dialogue at this moment, but if you want to be safe, make sure you switch on over to them. However, Lexi does have a bit of dialogue, so make sure you go through that, and then once you have that, just head back into your room, make sure you change back into yourself, and then as yourself, make sure you head back downstairs. And if you manage to exhaust every single possible dialogue question with Violet, you should be good for the achievement as you are about to end the chapter. There it is, 10 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.